This channel supports Extra Life in its efforts to raise money for the Children's Miracle Network. For more information about how to donate and join in their efforts, go to the link displayed here. Extra Life. Play games, heal kids. What up, everybody? This is your boy Black Magus, and my first overview of an EA presentation, I guess you could say, with EA Play happening today. So a couple of days before E3 starts and before the things that we probably really care about for most of us when it comes to E3 happens, EA did their EA Play presentation where they talked about several different games, which overall it was decent. Like, for me, I got some stuff out of it because there's a couple of games that I'm invested in that I wanted to hear about, such as The Sims 4 and Battlefield 5, and also wanted to see what they had for Star Wars Fallen Order. And so in that aspect, they delivered. They gave me some stuff that I found interesting, but overall, it was okay. So just started from the top. They started off with Star Wars Fallen Order, showing 15 minutes of gameplay after speaking a little bit with Vince Zampella, lead of Respawn's Entertainment, and Stig Asmussen, who is the lead director of the Star Wars Fallen Order project. So showed 15 minutes of gameplay. Looks good, looks interesting. A lot of the things that they did remind you of other things, like the wall running and the way that the players ran just kind of aped Prince of Persia to me. The lightsaber play looked pretty cool. Things they were doing with the force powers looked pretty cool. It was a good showing. It did definitely pique my interest in the game more. I'm a Star Wars fan, so I always had somewhat of an interest, but seeing gameplay kind of like solidified that to where I don't know if it's a pre-order purchase or if it's a day one purchase, but it's probably going to be a purchase sometime down the line for me. Then they transitioned over to Apex Legend, which is something that I don't really have an interest in. Again, spoiler alerts, I've never played it, so I'm just not a big battle royale person, but a lot of people are into it, and they gave some good information. They introduced a new character. They will have rank play and things like that, and they're going to work on some of the current weapons as well as introduce new weapons. So that should be appealing to the fan base of that. Then they moved on to FIFA, which a lot of people were anticipating. FIFA is one of EA's biggest games. They showed different new play animations, play modes. They're going to put Street Ball within the game instead of making it a separate thing. Like they had FIFA Street as a game. I don't know how many people remember that, but there was a FIFA Street game that came out not too long ago. That was pretty cool. But now they're going to integrate that into FIFA 20 as a mode. They saved the stuff for Ultimate. Oh gosh, I forget the name of it. But FIFA Ultimate Team. Jesus, don't know why I blanked on that. Probably because I don't really play that stuff like that. Like, I like FIFA, generally speaking, but it's not a series that I'm totally invested in, and I'm really not invested in the Ultimate Team aspects of EA games. But they're gonna hold details for that, and they're gonna show them later. But they did show like new animations, different new play styles and things like that. Gave some information for that. That they kind of soft lobbed in a little Anthem stuff. Didn't really pay attention to that, but if you're interested, there is some new information about Anthem, so check that out. Nice to know that they actually decided to mention it, as a lot of people were kind of miffed that there wasn't any large presentation based around Anthem, as Anthem was one of those games that they touted as like one of their biggest new coming games from BioWare Studios, and I guess because it kind of fell flat and didn't meet expectations, as EA is wont to do when games don't hit certain marks that they feel that it should, they just basically bury it. It was pretty much an intermission type of thing, like in between the next big presentation, which was Madden. They decided, they're like, hey, we're gonna talk a little bit. Well, no, it wasn't. It was Madden, but they decided Hold on, now I'm missing the order because Apex was followed by actually Battlefield. So sorry, I think I jumped ahead a little bit. No, Apex. It was Apex, then FIFA, then Battlefield. Battlefield was the next thing. Sorry, I'm all over the place with this. Shows how much I was truly invested in this whole EA thing, to be quite honest. But you know, it was kind of just like a side piece type of thing, and I believe it actually followed Battlefield. But they gave you a new map for Battlefield Merida. They also mentioned that they're going to come up with another map. They're going to have a re-envisioning of Metro from Battlefield 3, which was also in Battlefield 4. They really seem to like that map. I like that map a lot, so nice to see that. Then you got the Madden stuff. They talked about the Madden beta. They talked about different new aspects to the game, stuff like giving you guys special attributes to certain players. Like they talked about how like Patrick Mahomes is going to be able to throw the ball further than a lot of people, because we all know in real life Patrick Mahomes can throw a football like damn near the length of the field, it seems. That's how strong his arm is and things like that. So they're gonna like tune certain attributes and things to certain players to kind of elevate them above the rest of the field. So it's not like you're going to have an equal playing field with everybody. You know, special players who stand out in real life are going to stand out in the game, things like that. It's Madden. I'm not big on that, but they had that. And then they had The Sims, which they're coming with a new expansion pack. The Sims 4 is continually being worked on with new expansion packs, new features, new game packs with clothes. They're gonna have Moschino as one of their clothing lines, which I found was interesting. They partnered with that. They're gonna have some Pride stuff, as they partnered with It Gets Better, a Pride organization, for Pride Month. So that was pretty cool. But that was the gist of EA's whole thing. Overall, it was okay. I think what we're going to probably get the bulk of reaction and information out of is the gameplay, because they're going to have stuff like the Star Wars game, some of the Battlefield stuff, the Sim stuff. I believe Madden might be there, and FIFA. Like pretty much anybody who attends in person will be able to play a lot of the stuff that they showed on the showcase. So there'll be more information coming from the hands-on aspect than from the show itself. Overall, it was okay. It wasn't anything that stood out, but it helped, I guess, whet our appetite for E3. E3 this year hasn't been as hyped as it seemed to be previous years. The whole this is the battleground between all these companies, it's kind of diminished, especially with Sony and Nintendo basically saying we're out of this whole thing, and Microsoft basically being like the biggest of the presentations out there. You're still gonna get Bethesda, you're still gonna get Square Enix, you're still gonna get Ubisoft, and of course you're gonna get Devolver doing their little like clown shit, which we always enjoy in the PC gaming show. But it's not as a hype year, but this kind of got me into the mood, and I'm interested to see what else is going to be shown and what other information is going to come out. So yeah, okay job EA for E3, so to speak. Wasn't really expecting much from them and didn't really get much, but got information on stuff that I like. So I was somewhat pleased, even though overall, if I had to critique it, it was just if I were to give grades to these things, it probably would be a C. Yeah, C minus. I don't know. Anyway, it is what it is. So you guys, feel free to hit me up. Let me know what you're thinking. I'll haunt you later. This your boy Black Megas, and I'm out. Deuces.